Yeah, over that far right now.
Good evening, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project, bringing you a grand solar minimum update. Monday, March 4th at midnight, 2019. You're looking at the current GFS model, showing heavy snow continuing into mid-March. Let's pause it through. Let's bang it through your next 48 hours of power is heavy snow in southern Colorado. Snow picking up in southern Utah. The Sierra's picking up a nice amount, and Winter Storm Scott moving its way up through Halifax. Slight bombogenesis off the shore here, dumping 4 to 10 inches of snow on the coast of the most from Boston up through Maine. And as we move the models through, a next storm named T will do the same, and it will be insane, moving snow through Minnesota and Iowa to the depth of 18 to 20 inches in some areas. And that's through your weekend. Yes. Keep calm. It's boom time. Avalanches are hitting. Winter storm washes away California drought, burnishing the snowpack. California is drenched, and its mountains are piled high with snow amid a still unfolding winter storm. Unimaginable just a few months ago. But the snowpack is up to the second floor. And Al Gore's a fucking bore. He's also hard. At least 22 dead after a tornado touched down in Alabama and Georgia. This death toll has been increasing since we started the video. Since we started our research, it went from 14 to 22. It's not looking good. Devastating F3 or greater. We will not know until the morning when official reports come in. But the devastation is epic.
Tom, this sounds just awful in terms of the damage. We talked to somebody with the National Weather Service who says preliminarily they're believing this could have been at least an EF3 tornado.
Yep,
Talk to us a little bit more about that.
Well, the survey crews are going to go out and they're going to look at that damage tomorrow. It could be an EF4 too, possibly. But when we talked earlier on it, we said that this could have been what we think is a wedge tornado. It's not the image that we typically see of your rope kind of image of a tornado. A wedge has an extremely large bottom surface area, so the destruction is so much wider, and therefore you'll see the aerial pictures of just homes completely destroyed or off their slabs. We are getting some good news, and that is the intensity of some of these thunderstorms are now losing all the ingredients they need to continue to produce tornadoes. We still have a few warnings, and this is the watch box that's in effect until 11 p.m. That includes parts of Georgia and South Carolina. If we have a few tornadoes spin up, they're going to be on the southern end of this line through the panhandle of Florida, moving into south and southeastern areas of Georgia. Good news is we had a tornado warning knocking on the door for Columbia, South Carolina. That is no longer in effect. It's a severe thunderstorm warning. But when you look at the area of concern right now, this is Panama City, so the line has moved through to the east, but we have a couple of warnings now in effect. That's going to take it close to Tallahassee or just to the south if it continues. To the north, though, we're losing. Now that we've lost the daylight heating of the day, we're going to lose some of that intensity. So Columbia is under a severe thunderstorm warning, and then south of Savannah.
A devastating series of tornadoes has ripped through Alabama on Sunday, killing 22 people in one county. The victims include children who died in Lee County, said Sheriff Jay Jones. At least 12 of those deaths occurred in an area about 5 to 6 miles south of the city of Opelika, he said. Deaths occurred in an area of 5 to 6 miles south of the city. Bridge down. A fallen cell tower lies across U.S. Route 280 in Lee County after what appeared to be a tornado that struck the area. The 22 deaths reported on Sunday mark what would be the deadliest day for tornadoes in the state since the Tuscaloosa Birmingham tornado that killed more than 200 in 2011. Prayers go out to all of the affected. As the deadly outbreak unfolds in the southeast, on Sunday, tornadoes wreaked havoc across the southeast. The tornadoes heavily damaged homes, businesses, and power lines. Many injuries, at least 22 fatalities as we reported. Talbotton, Georgia was not left untouched. There's Smith Stations, Alabama, were hit especially hard. Look at that. That's where the cell tower bent. Today marks the deadliest tornado day since January 22nd, 2017, when 20 fatalities were reported in Mississippi. Well, we just eclipsed that. This event also marks the deadliest tornado since April 27, 2014, when a tornado struck Villanova, Arkansas. In Midwest, Winter Storm Scott leaves multiple crashes, road closures, and flight cancellations.
And take a look at this. A dining hall at a scout camp in northern Wisconsin just collapsed under that heavy snow. Now, fortunately, nobody was in that building at the time. Last week, volunteers and a camp ranger were out preparing for an event. They heard that cracking sound and noticed the building was already bowing. So apparently they had the camera ready to go, too. It was all captured on video. Just amazing, the weight of snow on the roof, especially a flatter roof. That's where you can have some issues.
Yeah, that's where you're going to have some issues. Apparently.
Isn't March just the best time of the year? You start to see things bloom a little bit, at least in some spots, and you're starting to get out of the worst of winter. But I want to remind people that March still is technically winter, at least for most of the month, right? The majority of it. And there are actually some spots where it's the snowiest month on average, and that's in these areas where you see things circled here. So actually parts of the central northern plains, parts of the Rockies, the average snowiest month is March. And there are even a couple of isolated spots where April is the snowiest month, but that is the very high terrain in the Rockies. Now, for most people, at least for most of the country, the average last freeze isn't till sometime in April, all right? In parts of the south, yes, it's in parts of March where you'll see your last freeze, but in general, that's a little bit later on in the month. And actually, talking about your last freeze this year specifically, we got some really cold air coming in for the beginning of March. It's going to settle in over the next couple of days. So I know we didn't get below freezing in places like Atlanta for all of February, but we are going to get there a couple of times over the next few days.
Heads up, Atlanta. Thank God your airport got those new de-icers. As Winter Storm Scott raced toward the east, it left behind canceled flights, road closures, and numerous crashes in the plains and Midwest. Colorado State Police. Oh man, that looks bad. That's a jackknife. Colorado State Police closed a 12-mile stretch of Interstate 70 west of Frisco for several hours on Saturday after multiple accidents with some injuries, KSUA reported. This is Kansas City Airport. Look at that. Completely snow-covered. 9 minutes, 44 seconds in. Winter parking restrictions announced after snow record in St. Paul, Minnesota. Say it ain't soda. After record February snows followed another 5 inches on the first day of March, St. Paul officials announced winter parking restrictions take effect Monday. That's tomorrow. Heads up, record snow blows. So do snow blowers. Is that gray spot? Snow buried a car in Eau Claire, Wisconsin during one of the many snowfalls of February. Look at that. It's like fucking 25 inches. Ow! Get your hole! bitch. As I gazed at the world of white piled high everywhere around me, I felt momentarily overwhelmed, as if I didn't know where to begin. Then, the all too obvious answer slapped me in the form of a swirling, surly wind gust, flinging snow in my face. Start at the back porch, of course, right where I was standing, right where the moment before I had struggled to force open the door because of a thick snowdrift piled against it. Clearing the space, I'd then have to uncover the porch steps hidden somewhere under the foot of snow Eau Claire had received overnight that had drifted even higher. Then proceeded to the patio, which was necessary to get to the garage where my salvation waited in the form of a snowblower and a case of Schlitz. And that's tonight's first boom. You'll be buried. Are you prepared? Prepared, not scared. Heads up, we're about to see some amazing, I don't even know what's going on. Record-breaking cold today. An update on our next snow. The coldest reading in Minneapolis St. Paul International Airport ever recorded happened this morning. This morning in Minneapolis, St. Paul tied the record low temperature of minus 13 Fahrenheit, set back in 1873. During the height of the centennial minimum. And we're headed into the eddy minimum. History is repeating itself. We're likely to set at least one record today for the coldest March 3rd Twin Cities high temp ever as well. They were expected to max out just shy of 6 degrees. (1873), folks. The sun explains the phenomenon. Record-breaking temps today in Denver. Scattered snow to end the weekend. The low Sunday morning in Denver was -6 at the International Airport, where Bruce Affer and others will welcome you as you enter in May for LeakCon 2019. The most exclusive and prestigious conference ever conceived. The official recording station for the city, -8 degrees back in 1960. The temperatures barely made it into the teens on Sunday, which is not a fun day. It will warm up Wednesday. And then look at Thursday. Look at that blouse. Now, Avalanche footage.
I mean, I think they did that on purpose because it said something about...
This is coming out on I-70 just hours ago. And look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4 cars about to be buried in an avalanche west of Denver. Now, luckily, this guy stopped and he's going to back up, but he's still going to get covered. It's not going to hit them, is it? Yeah, it's going to bury them. Just like it did. Back it up. Back it up. I was like, holy man, we were about to get buried. Back it up.
I think they did that on purpose because it said something about...
Man, check out the footage. Now, the hilarious thing is some of the people commenting down below are claiming that this is due to global warming. Yeah. In some of the comments, they say that if we could just sequester the carbon, this would never happen. And I was like, what the fuck are they talking about? It was an avalanche. That comes from record snow, which is awesome. Because Al Gore can suck it. Like, that's how awesome it is, you know? And the IPCC and all the alarmists that said it would never fucking snow are now getting buried in their electric cars and their Priuses as they're like, oh my God, is that a global warming avalanche? Are we about to get buried in totally hot snow? Thank you, Al. That was awesome. It's fucking awesome, man. Holy sh! I love carbon dioxide. I pay my taxes. Are we suffocating? Are we buried? Anybody? Hello? GFS model showing heavy snow continuing through mid-March. A blizzard forming in southern Minnesota, northern Iowa next weekend. And then another system and another system. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome to unexplain that. That right there. Explain that. March 14th, Al. IPCC. A severe storm, wintry precipitation, and bitter cold, including freeze and frost warnings extending all the way down to southern Texas. A powerful storm will bring numerous impacts across the deep south and the east. Severe thunderstorms may produce damaging winds, a few strong tornadoes that had already claimed the lives of dozens in the red zone. Flash flooding in the deep south and southeast today. Snow, a wintry mix, moves into the mid-Atlantic and northeast through Monday. And snow will continue through mid-March, all the way into spring. In the plains and Midwest, bitter cold will spread across much of the U.S., where freeze and frost warnings, wind chill warnings in dozens of states, all the way down through South Texas. Purple freeze warnings, freeze watches, wind chill warnings and watches through Oklahoma, North Texas, all the way up through the states in the central area. Winter storm watches and warnings from Maine to Cali. It's a march to remember in more ways than one. Wutip hits 160 miles per hour. First Category 5 typhoon ever recorded in February. Ever. On Earth. Heads up, Guam. Himawari 8 infrared image of Super Typhoon Wutip taken at 2:10 Monday, February 25th. At the time, Wutip was Category 5 with 160 mile per hour winds. The first Northern Hemisphere Cat 5 tropical cyclone on record in February ever. Ever. Like an avalanche of ever. Sun has everything to do with it. It's not you. It's not CO2. It's the sun. Just like the 1873 record that we just broke, happening back in the centennial minimum, you're headed into the Eddy minimum, the modern minimum. Very intense and rare sky phenomenon that looks like northern lights, electrifies the sky over Romania. It's insania. I am 1/4 Ukrainia. Look at that. I don't know how it was seen from other parts, but I think people in Aguza had the optimal position. Whew. The sky over Aguza is glowing in different colors. In any case, physics and chemistry will always baffle people who will remain sheeple. That's refraction, yo. That's delicious. It's amazing. Rainbow in the clouds. We get it all the time here in Pagosa. That's why I moved here. Rainbow Road's right up the road. Why do you think it's there? Exploring the abnormal fluctuations of atmospheric aerosols before the 2008 which one? And 2013 Lushan earthquake. Now, this is cutting edge science where fluctuations in atmospheric aerosols are recorded before major earthquakes. Links to the paper will be below. Not only that, but a study of the ionospheric disturbances associated with 8 magnitude earthquakes using empirical orthogonal function analysis shows that 5 days before the earthquake, there was disruptions in the ionosphere. These are 8 magnitude or greater, which we're about to experience in the next week or so. And so what we should see initially is a disturbance in the ionosphere prior to the quake as the rupture occurs on the surface, according to this paper, which just came out. The ionosphere is disturbed up to 5 days prior to 8 magnitude earthquakes. Holy shit. Man, we're on the cusp. We're discovering it. It's awesome. It's electric. It's empirical. It's orthogonal. And it's functional in the analysis. Links below. Seismic update. Damn it. I wish it would pop. Seismic update. No 8 magnitude. There's a lull. There's an uptick on the Appalachian front. 2.5 in Georgetown, Ohio. Do you think that's rare? Heads up, Eau Claire. Holy shit. Popocatépetl volcano shoots ash and lava into the air in a nighttime eruption. We showed you footage last night. This is some killer and filler from Manila. This is some footage. That's got smoke and pyroclastics and booms. Wish I had some shrooms. Yes, I burped. Worldwide volcano news update. No volcanoes exploding. Of note. Continuous volcanic ash at Tucono Popo is glowing. Live. Karaminch Reventador Sabancaya unable to detect. Tucono emissions to 7,000. Karaminch to 13. Making a little dirt on the snow. Ho, ho, ho to Santa. Now let's talk about behavioral effects of space radiation. A comprehensive review of animal studies recently released. As NASA prepares for the first manned space mission to Mars, which is bullshit, that will never happen. Unless they have alien technology which prevents cosmic radiation from entering the capsule, any astronaut that will blast towards Mars will die before they get there. But there is a study on behavioral effects of space radiation, which would happen as the magnetosphere collapses and the magnetic reversal ensues. So if you're worried about it and you want some facts, put down the pipe and get some. Right here, behavioral effects of space radiation, a comprehensive review of animal studies by Antonio Allen, Marjan Borma, and Federico Kiefer. I love kefir. I make kefir brick here, which are the trichomes packed in a delicious brick of deliciousness. Very few of you know what I'm talking about. Many of you know about the Adam and Eve story, which was recently declassified in 2013 by the CIA. But the publication itself was never classified and therefore existed the entire time. But what you can't get your hands on is the Postlude. And some of you born earlier than I was know what a quaalude is. It's basically what this is. It's the quaalude to the Adam and Eve story. It's the mechanism. The Postlude is the most esoteric and obscure piece of literature unobtainable to humans. I have a copy of the original Adam and Eve story. I plucked it off of eBay just 2 months ago for 20 bucks. And the cheapest you can get a copy right now is $2,000. It's insane. The Postlude is free because I just gave it to you. I'm about to get a copy sent to me as well. Signed by Chan Thomas. If you want to know about the mechanism for the Adam and Eve story and the micronova and the cataclysm, I'm going to give it to you for free. Read it. Slowly, painstakingly. We are still putting the pieces of the puzzle together. The more pieces we find which fit into the picture, the more colorful and dramatic the picture becomes. Are you picking up what we're putting down? We just gave you the 27-page pamphlet, which is not a schmamphlet. It is exactly what you will be doing after I stop speaking. Are you peeking? He's creating a new fuel out of thin air for 85 cents a gallon. And it's ammonia. Advocates of the American New Green Deal or other radical efforts to decarbonitize or schmonetize and de-plant fooditize the world economy in the face of looming non-climate crisis. Check it out. You can run your shit on... Yeah. NH3, baby. Thank you, Roger Gordon, for being an inventor and not being murdered. If you're trying to prepare like Roger Gordon is, check out the link below at My Patriot Supply. 2-week food supply in an ammo crate, 84 bucks. Best price I've ever seen. This could bring you through a grid failure. You should buy one of these a week until you have 1,000 of them stocked into your dry goods. 1,000 of these is like 5 years of food. Get going. Comes in a case. It's already packed for you. You don't have to do crap. You just buy it and put it in the corner until the shit hits the fan. You know what else you need? Cannabis seed. Swami Organic Seed. #1 company other than Southwest Genetics that I have encountered. And what I mean by that is they sent me a whole package of free seeds. Please send me more. Send me more, please. Swami Organic Seed has some of the most incredible varieties to add to your collection. Now, I don't know if they actually sell seeds, but they sent me some, so you may be able to get some here by clicking Request Seeds. Now, some of the varieties I've already planted include something that's a blue and another indica and a schmendica. But I definitely have some of the GG4 Mazer Guerrero. I would really love some Blackberry Bubba Kush and Blue Moon Rocks immediately. F3. Girl Scout Cookie with Cherry Bomb would be nice as well. And I was hoping to get some Pakistan Chocolate Thai, as well as White Widow with Cherry Bomb and Mazer Guerrero. And any other cross of White Widow that you want to send me with Sour OG and Star Killer. Holy schmiller! #1 cannabis on the planet. Star Killer in our area as an indica is coming in at 29% at the local dispense. Game changer. Holy crap. Jaeger, Durban, Bubble, and Bliss. Look at these crosses. Are you full of sunshine? Come over to Swami Organic Seed and get her done. That's boom. Belgian scientists announced new solar panel that makes hydrogen. Not only can you run your car on ammonia, but your solar panel can make hydrogen and you can create a bomb. That's amazing. I love Belgium. Didn't they invent the waffle? Is that a joke? Or was that IHOP? IHOP is awesome. Proper prior planning prevents piss poor performance. New CMIP data suggests an extended period of solar decline in your lifetime, which includes cosmic ray increase. It's not going to get better. It only gets worse. Subscribe to the channel. Share this with like-minded people. Do not get buried. Do not drive into the avalanche. We love you. Check out our My Patriot Supply store, our Amazon Preparedness store. If you want to know about prepping, we have a library there. The Prepper's Survival Guide to the Future. Not only that, LeadCon 2019 fast approaches. Are you preparing? It will be awesome.